Hi and welcome to The Winning Factor. I'm Alan Aitken, and on this show each week we take a look at some upcoming races in Hong Kong and try to isolate an angle to the race that might lead us to finding the winner. Well, it's the calm before the storm on Sunday at Sha Tin, looking after the track with 6 dirt races to complement 4 turf races ahead of next week's big international meeting. And of course, all the information for that next week is going to be all over the Hong Kong Jockey Club website, including live track work telecasts as well. So ahead of all that, we've still got winners to find this Sunday. And the first race I want to take a look at is race 2, where our winning factor is the map. So a class 4, 1200 metres here. And I think there are rough chances to the likes of Elegant Life and Golden Tronic Mighty. But the main focus of the race is going to be James McDonald's Mount Super Legends off some recent consistent form, Cheerful World, who has not run a bad race in 3 starts, and down in the handicaps, Lucky Man and Gangnam Star. But it's Super Legends and Cheerful World where I want to put your attention, and I've called the winning factor here the map because that is going to be key. Their tactical abilities and those of their riders are going to be very important for the result of this race. So we're going to take a look first of all at that map. And it isn't a race with obvious leaders, and that often means we see some tactical gambles. But Island Buddy does have good pace. He begins well, so I expect he'll be our front runner on the rail from the inside draw. But a few drawn wider, including Super Legends, might or might not roll the dice on getting themselves near the front. Now, we did see Super Legends lead when he won in September over the same course and distance, but that was from a better draw and in an exceptionally slow early speed. I don't know if he'll be able to get there this time, but that's where James McDonald's talents will be put to the test. Gangnam Star, he's one of the chances on form, but he'll get a long way back in the field, so he really looks challenged. Lucky Man draws better this time and could be closer than we've seen him so far. But Cheerful World, he's been handy in all 3 starts this course and distance, has a very positive rider in Luke Ferraris, and Gate 1. That should enable him to burrow up into the box seat. So now we have an idea how we think the race might be run. Let's have a look at how these 2 horses have been performing in fairly similar circumstances. First of all, race 150, and in Gate 4, blue colours, Cheerful World jumps okay. It looks fairly busy to the eye here early, but the pace is deceptively slow. Ferraris is using his inside gate to get a position just behind the lead group, and there he camps as the pace improves through the middle of the race. He turns for home travelling well, looms up and takes the lead at the 100 metres and momentarily looks the winner, but he can't put it away as a couple of others with better acceleration get past him in the final stages. Now, the negative on that race is I think Cheerful World is probably looking for 1400 metres now. Nevertheless, that was a good performance against some decent horses, and he gets a similar setup this time. Super Legends, meanwhile, opened the season with a win and 2 seconds before he was sent out favourite at his latest challenge, which looked very much like the challenge that he has on Sunday. This is race 184. He's drawn out in gate 12, blue and white colours, and he jumps okay, but the pace here is quite genuine. Super Legends can't match the horses drawn inside him for speed. Vincent Ho looks to drop in somewhere, but there is nowhere to drop. The tempo continues to be average, and he gets stuck wide, very wide in midfield throughout the race. That takes an understandable toll, and in the straight, Super Legends tries his best, but he has no finish left in him, winding up in 5th place. Now, certainly not disgraced there under unsuitable circumstances, but the worry on Sunday is that he has similar circumstances facing him, and the only positive I can see is that we might not get quite as strong a pace. But for me, the tip in race 2 is Cheerful World. His winning factor, the map. I don't think there's a great deal between these horses. Super Legends deserves to be favourite, I think. And if James McDonald can work some magic and get him into a suitable position, then he's certainly going to be the one to beat. But he's got a few things to do to get there, whereas Cheerful World Gate 1, Luke Ferraris. I think he'll get run of the race and every chance to beat the favourite. The other race I want to look at is the final race, race 10, where our winning factor is the sectionals. Now this is a 1400 metre class 3 and Magnificent 9 and Storm Rider have chances, though Storm Rider needs to bounce back off what I thought was a disappointing effort last start. However, the race will most likely revolve around just two runners, up-and-coming 4-year-old Steps Ahead and Geneva. So that's where I'm concentrating, and the two of them stepped out on the same day, although several hours apart, for their latest starts. First of all, let's take a look at Geneva when he was set out odds-on in Class 4. Now this is race 148. He's in Gate 3, tangerine and white colours, and I don't think Geneva is slow out of the gates, but it's just that Hugh Bowman is in no hurry. Good speed was expected in this race, and that's what he gets, though the heat map shows it wasn't crazy by any means. Geneva travels well back in the field with a bit to do in the straight, and the leaders don't stop, as you can see there on the heat map, but he had a lot on these horses, unwinding a big finish, and Bowman never has to resort to the stick to win with something in hand. Now that's the win of a good quality horse going places, and a few hours later Steps Ahead resumed for the new season in the final race of that day, and he was able to score 2 over 1400 metres, and let's take a look at how he did it. This is race 156, he's in Gate 6, yellow and red colours, and Steps Ahead jumps okay and is with the leaders in a genuine speed early before drifting back just off the front runners into a stalking position. Now the pace isn't quick but never really comes off either, so the leaders are vulnerable on straightening. Steps Ahead pounces at the 250 metres and looks set for a comfortable win when he gets clear, but in the end, he has to be ridden out and just scrambles home. Now, the final 400 metre sectional time there was quite slow, and that perhaps casts some doubt over the worth of the performance, but it was the first start for 4 months for Steps Ahead, first up over 1400 metres. I think probably he'll come on for that in terms of fitness, and we should see a better version of him on Sunday. When we go to the map, he's the one with the tactical advantage. Now the main speed here looks likely to be provided by apprentice Brittany Wong on the very lightly weighted Polaris, and perhaps My Wish, who needs to push across to the leaders outside to overcome a poor gate. Around him out there, My Wish has a few others in the same situation who would like to get positions towards the front from wider draws, although I don't really see them charging for the lead. The map looks best for Steps Ahead, who should be stalking the leader without much fuss from his low draw, and he's likely to be the one challenging the leaders again at the 250 metre mark. Zach Burton's job on Geneva is more complex. Now the only time Geneva ran at 1400 metres he led, which didn't suit him, and we don't expect him to do that here. But what we have seen, his ability to produce a big finish when he is allowed to find his feet. For Burton, the challenge is one commensurate with his riding quality, to balance not bustling his horse early for position with not getting too far out of the race. But if he can stay within target range, I do think that Geneva's finishing ability is going to outpoint Steps Ahead's ability in terms of tactics. On this graphic, you can see the two horses' last 400 metre sectionals for their last 3 races and where those sectional times ranked on the day. Steps Ahead over 1400 metres each time, while Geneva has been at 1200 metres. In the replays that we've seen, they were both on November the 3rd, and Geneva's finish ranked the best of the entire meeting, while Steps Ahead was ranked 77th on the day. Quite a gap. And Geneva carried 14 pounds more there than Steps Ahead and now receives 4 pounds from him. Now, if you go back 3 starts, Steps Ahead did run a quick sectional over 1400 metres, but that was in a very slow early speed, so everything in that race ran fast sectionals. It was just set up as a race from about the 600 metres. Now, as mentioned, perhaps Steps Ahead will improve on that last sectional now, but he certainly has to. So the tip from me in race 10 is Geneva. His winning factor, the sectionals. So we're isolating two horses here that are going to be in completely different sections of the race in running. But I think those sectional times that Geneva's been posting tell us he's well up to class 3, he's well up to running 1400 metres, and I think if he's close enough, those sectionals will also be the reason that he's too strong for steps ahead at the finish. Well, that's it from the winning factor this week. Good luck on Sunday. We'll see you next time.